Cheers.
Salud.
Salud. Na zdraví.
Awesome. It's kind of strong right now. It's good.
All right, guys. So I think welcome to our new podcast that we just started.
Yeah, I think the best things are just improvised, and we're improvising right now. My name is Eduardo Mendoza.
My name is Matej.
Nah, that sounds so like cliche. Like, you know, we always start our concerts with like, my name is Eduardo Mendoza. And I think if people are gonna see us, we should just be like, hey, I'm Edu.
Yes, I'm Matej.
Yeah, there you go, right?
Also, yeah, Matej.
What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. If you like a more spontaneous thing or you want the whole scripted podcast.
Yeah, because we're thinking what are the ideas going to be for this podcast, and we don't want to overthink it because we sometimes get stuck ourselves in the process of creating the best possible thing, the best possible video, recording, anything, and then we end up like, you know, being so slow and, you know, maybe overthinking it too much when people actually don't care that much eventually. So we want to...
My head is shaking right now.
So actually want to develop it as we go, and we'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah,
right?
For sure, man. I mean, I think as international students and international musicians that should we even look at the camera or should we just like, I don't know.
I think maybe if we look like just this, it's better because it's a conversation between us.
Okay.
And we just happen to record it.
Right, more natural, more spontaneous. Okay, let's do it. So this was the try. Should we restart it? Or should we say just...
We should keep it like this.
Right there?
Yeah.
So like...
I know it's crazy, but that's the point.
Okay. I know we said we're not gonna look at the camera, but exposing all of these mistakes on the first video is gonna be awesome. That way, like, we're just setting the bar... I don't want to say setting the bar low, but we're just being ourselves, you know?
We're trying to be genuine, you know? Because you can look at all those different videos and podcasts, and especially in today's, like, day and time, you know, you can develop something super cool and sell yourself in a best way. But we're all humans, we all do mistakes, so why to not just expose those mistakes as well?
And even right now, I feel it feels really awkward to have this conversation recorded. I feel like, Matej, you and I have so many deep, meaningful talks.
Right.
Like in the most spontaneous way. Yeah. But right now, I feel like I'm in a job interview.
Me too. Like, okay, Edu, just tell me your strengthts, your weaknesses. How can
Oh man, I think my strength is that I'm Bolivian and you should hire me because you are hiring.
That sounds awesome.
Okay, let's be honest. Like, that was such a bad scripted joke. Like, it felt like that way. But
you know, we both are musicians, so we're used to presenting ourselves on a stage in front of people. So we always tend to be like super official, like, hey, I'm doing this and this is like that. But we don't need to be like that. We can just enjoy just
two dudes
talking,
being spontaneous.
Yes.
Drinking something that we're gonna talk about this later.
And I think like the main ideas that we would like to cover in this podcast are the ideas that are connected to our lives. Because we were talking just earlier that we both are musicians and we spend so much time practicing and honing our skills. But we are not.
You're talking at the camera.
Oh yeah.
It's so hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
But I think, like you were saying, the main purpose of this podcast is like, you're the cymbalum guy and I am the saxophone guy, right? Like, there's no such thing as the saxophone guy. I wish I could be as original as you. But I think we have so many more strengths than just music. I feel like you have traveled to China, you have like interviewed with amazing people, you basically represent the whole Czech cymbalum community, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just also in the same path of like representing the whole Bolivia native instrument community, at least in the Midwest section.
Yeah, so the things that are representing us is the international factor, because we both are international students in the United States. It was a big dream of ours, right? And we wanted to fulfill it. So that's going to be also a main topic, how we can put, you know, different cultures, different communities together through being understanding, you know, being empathetic. So these are going to be the main topics. You know.
And plus, I don't know, like, both of us are in this path of personal growth. Mm-hmm. And this is something I agree. And I think this is one of the main reasons why you're one of my best friends.
Oh,
because
appreciate it.
You know you're one of my best friends, just shut up.
I know, but I'm trying to, like, you know, already think, okay, if someone's going to listen to it, how they're going to, like, take it.
Okay, if somebody is listening to this point and is engaged with this at this moment, I think you should say in the comments, how do you know us? Because I think first, we're going to start getting to our friends and our family, and then hopefully start getting outside. So it's always nice to see, like, who's watching this, what friends remember us, and maybe why do they remember us.
Of course.
And maybe, like, you know, like, people don't remember you as the cymbalum guy, but, like, as the dude that joined the Northern track and field team being a musician. Like, that's something different, right? A different identity. So,
Yeah, I think that's another great topic that we can also be discussing furthermore. That's the topic that is important to get feedback. And we both, as musicians, spend so much time alone, just trying to improve on ourselves, but we don't get to get the feedback so often. So exactly, if you're still listening, if you enjoyed this, or if you find it anyhow interesting, just let us know what would be the good idea, because there's like a big list of topics that we would like to cover and we would like to also get into. And by getting into it, we would like increase our knowledge and deepen the understanding.
You got me lost, man.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so hard to, at least for Latino culture, at least in my culture from Bolivia, like we don't, I know it's maybe a family thing, we don't really make eye contact.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
Yeah. And it's just like sometimes when like I am talking with Americans, I feel like I am looking at them in the eyes, or they're talking to me, and I'm just too focused just looking at their eyes, and like it's just like I have no clue what they're saying, but I have to make the eye contact to be respectful and like to seem engaged and stuff. Yeah, I think that's something I've been trying to like improve, because before I would say I was not very self-confident and I had trouble speaking with people, especially the people who are like more important than me. But I said, okay, let's try to challenge it. If I keep looking into their eyes, I feel it's more genuine. And actually, by looking into eyes, I believe you can develop a deeper contact, even though it's hard, and you get used to this like discomfort, or like, okay, it's weird and I don't have to focus on it. But I feel it's better if you look into eyes with someone, but it doesn't have to be like over exaggerated. I just realized I have been putting my thermos on the table this whole time. Like probably that's gonna sound horrible in the microphone. Yeah. So we're starting very simple, just by having a microphone over here on the table. But as we go, we can develop it. Can make it more, right? Now I think we should say like, why are we here together right now? Like your decision, like. What made you come to Sioux Falls right now? Yes. So yeah. By the way, where is Sioux Falls, South Dakota? I think we didn't say that, right? Yeah, we're in Sioux Falls, in South Dakota. And it's sort of at Edu's apartment, which is pretty awesome. He moved here like half a year ago, and I just came here to visit him because we were supposed to come to see a concert. Talk to me. Yeah, you're talking to the camera. Okay, it's so hard. But like, let's give it our best. Like, let's have a body-to-body conversation, because I think that's what most podcasters struggle with, right? It's just like we're talking to an audience, but in reality, a podcast is just two people sharing knowledge and being very personal. Just talking about it. Yeah. The reason why I'm here is because you got a very good idea. Hey, why we don't surprise our friend who is from Japan, who was supposed to have a concert. Unfortunately, he couldn't come, but I was feeling it like, okay, I can come anyway, and we can spend a good time by developing ideas, such as idea like we are having right now. Okay, let's record a podcast or give ourselves a feedback. Hey, I've been if you're still watching this video right now, by the way, because I feel like, I don't know, this is the pilot and maybe people are not gonna be super engaged, but if you're still engaged, because we're talking from a friend from Japan, let's make the Asian hearts. Oh my goodness, maybe you can comment a heart emoji in the comments, and we're gonna know you have been following this video till this moment. Okay. Yeah, why not? Yeah, right. Probably it's gonna be like 3 people, and including our host mom. We love her. We're gonna see you, Diana, super soon. Yeah, this podcast will be like a mixture of everything. Also full of our English mistakes, because we both are not native English speakers, even though we tried hard to improve our English. But sometimes we still make mistakes and we sound like potatoes. For real. But it's been a good journey. I remember the first time we came here and it was impossible to understand American people and to get your ideas going. First, I'm not sure if you had it the same way, but I felt like I'm a different person in English because it took me some time to find my identity again, to portray my ideas clearly, right? What's funny though is like I'm also another person in Spanish. I think, and that's because the Midwestern culture forces you to become a new person, because there's so many understated rules, right? Like, for example, like, hey, how are you, man? How are you? Versus like in Bolivia, we just say hi, the kiss on the cheek and stuff. Like you guys Czech people do crazy stuff as well. We are also hugging all the time, being very, very personal. When on the other hand, when you go to Asia, people are trying to keep their space and not being super active because you can actually hurt them. We're talking about the Midwest, and now you throw Asia here. Yeah, because it's the cultural thing, like how you engage with things, right? I think these are the topics. We both like cultures, we both like different countries, different cultures, and how we can learn from them, how it shaped our life in order to understand different cultures, and how we can implement it into everything we do. A podcast of 2 international dudes that came pursuing a dream through music, and they discovered that they are so much more than musicians. That sounds fair. Sounds awesome.
And as weird as it is right now that we're looking into ice and trying to keep the contact as much as possible, we're gonna be separate on the journey of recording this podcast. I'll be in my room, you'll be in your room. I'll be in Tennessee right now. I'm living in Memphis, Tennessee. You'll be here.
Oh, do you?
So yeah. So it'll be.
Stop talking to the camera.
It's like I'm talking everywhere. How I'm talking. I like to be engaged. I'm trying to imagine that there's so many people and.
Hi, Edu and Matej. My name is Eduardo, and I love you.
Yes, it's like a Buddhistic style. Everything is taken into consideration. Alive. Yeah, but what I wanted to say is that it's gonna be separate later as we go on. From my room, from your room, we're gonna put it together. So it'll be more natural, probably looking into camera, not like sideways. Yeah. But this is everything gonna be developed as we work on it, as we progress. Mm-hmm. So the point for us is to publish one episode every 2 weeks. And we'll see what's going to happen after that, whether people will like it. Even if people would not watch it that much.
You know what? No. I think that shouldn't limit our potential. Let's not worry about people, but rather, I think the main purpose of this podcast is to have a genuine conversation where people can actually extract knowledge. It ain't matter if 5 people watch it, but you never know if we're gonna reach that international student that's considering moving to America,
to South Dakota,
even whatever city, and we're gonna share our struggles. We're gonna share how we made friends. How we're just gonna go so personal, diving into these topics, right?
And eventually, it can work as our diary. Hey, I got this idea and I want to share it with you, and we're gonna record it so we can always get back to it. And maybe 2 years from now, when we're gonna have different kind of life, different lifestyle, I was thinking like that and I've developed it into this. Why not?
Man. No, actually, I think we motivate each other in the best way possible. The only reason I got this new Apple Watch thingy is because you told me you purchased a really good watch for tracking all the activity you do and stuff, and I was like, you know what? That sounds awesome. I've been procrastinating in the gym for so long, and I started working out really hard. I have after you mentioned the Atomic Habits book, make small progress rather than huge leaps of motivation. I've been living by that context, and I think that definitely will define the podcast tone that we're setting, right? Making it about personal growth as well as funny jokes.
And what could be also a good addition, since you mentioned Atomic books, we can also always mention, hey, it was written by James Clear, and maybe this book is talking about how to build right habits. It kind of describes how to make step-by-step guide in order to stick with the habits, and it's much deeper. Is it bitter now?
Bitter. I'm gonna go.
So James Clear's book is absolutely life-changing one in my personal case, and I believe in so many of my friends' cases as well. So this is a good theme that you started talking about. We inspire each other, and I think this is the best thing about good friends. If you have a good friend that can give you
pull you up. Pull you up.
And be genuine, hey, look at you, wake up, man. I think this is kind of shitty, the things you're doing, they're not so good. So give you genuine feedback and you feel the energy.
Okay. We should definitely, I think we should make a line though, what bad words are we gonna use? Because don't forget, I'm a teacher and I need to keep my identity as a super pristine person. But we're all human, right? We all say bad words.
But what we said, we defined that this podcast is gonna be genuine. I feel we both are people that are not cussing a lot in general, because I don't think when we're angry and we're stupid.
Unless you're speaking in our own languages.
All right, we will say that. We will say that, but not all the time. I have not been cussing in English all the time. So
never.
It was just an example to just say one. And I think it's totally fine, because even if the kids are watching, I'm sure that I've already heard these words.
Or we can do it we both love Uncle Roger. We can just look at the camera and say, sorry kids.
I'm taking it bad. Awesome.
I'm super excited, man, and let's see. We're actually gonna, and I think we should talk to the camera now, right? We're gonna drive to Aberdeen, South Dakota to visit our host mom, and we plan to still record more things in the car. Just keep sharing experiences, and we're gonna show our university a little bit. Maybe try to find contact with some people, and what do you have to add? Yeah,
I think at the beginning it's gonna be mostly us, but as we go, we want to have our friends involved, just to expand on it. And just sharing what we feel like, what we want to develop, what kind of habits we want to develop, what kind of lifestyle we want to live. And hopefully it's going to be a good one that's going to be healthy, that's going to be successful, that's going to be long, and it's going to be full of things that we enjoy and are passionate about. So
I think to wrap up this podcast, because we're going to be recording from the car and stuff, but I think the car recording should go in the middle, so like we make it more engaging for people, because like looking at a static shot for like, I don't even know how much we're talking, like maybe 15 minutes. I think looking at a static shot is going to be boring. So like to end this podcast, assuming this is the end and we can wrap up with this, I think we should give the best piece of advice that can come up to our mind right now. And that way we are also providing some value to our audience. So
can I be a little bit critical towards what you just said?
Yeah.
You said it's going to be boring to look in this steady picture, but you said we don't want to do it for people, right? So it doesn't matter. If it's a podcast, people will listen to it. They will even not know what we're doing.
You're right.
In my case, when I listen to podcasts, I like to see the video, but most of the times I'm listening by having it just in my ears and not looking at the screen. So I don't
look at the
know.
people, right?
Yes.
Just don't care about who's talking.
So the quality, the move, things
You're
with
right.
the video editing are not as important.
Hey, thanks for calling me out on that.
Perfect.
And that's a friend. And that, friends, is how you take criticism.
No, I would say this would be a good advice. So if you said like say one advice, for me, be empathetic, be listening to each other, try to actively listen what others are saying, and then try to give some feedback on it in a way that, be nice, get help, and then wrap it up again, be nice. Like, good idea, but I think it could be like this, and then wrap it up again, and it can improve the overall thing.
Amazing,
so
man.
Be empathetic, listen, and give feedback, and
cool. Well, the piece of advice I want to give is, you want to do something, just go for it, because you're going to start shifting things as you go. It's like, I think we worry so much about trying to make it perfect since the very beginning. Like I said already, like, yeah, it might be boring for people. Like, you never know, right? But if we want to start something, just like we're doing, start it right away, and you can figure out things as you go. And
absolutely.
I don't know, like one habit leads to another, right? Like we're going to talk so much about habits and the power of building consecutive actions, but take action now. Like we're taking action right now.
Yeah.
Take action. You want to start a gym, just go to the gym. Doesn't matter. Go for 10 minutes. Go to a treadmill. Just even stand up in the treadmill. And that's the victory for your day.
Absolutely.
Just take action.
Just do it and then learn from what you did. If you did some mistakes, try to improve them. The next time it can be much better.
Yeah. And take action in a manageable way. There you go.
Awesome.
Awesome, man. I'm excited. And
see you in 2 weeks, man.
See you in 2 weeks, bro. 8:50 in beautiful Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
After we spent 3 days together and we honestly didn't sleep that much.
No, but hey, actually there's this phrase called memento mori, which is like, we're all gonna die. And it's not like YOLO. YOLO is more like, okay, yeah, 3 days we haven't slept, nothing, let's go for 5 more, YOLO, right? But I think memento mori is more like, okay, 3 days we haven't slept very good and we have been partying and having fun. Wow, what an awesome life. We're all gonna die, so it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, and it wasn't in a super crazy way that we would go all crazy just to get wasted and don't remember anything. But I think the thing that is binding us together as well is the fact that we enjoy some very good deep talks or some good conversations. So even though when we were drinking beer and discussing stuff, we wanted to go deeper and deeper and deeper. So
yeah, it was awesome. It's actually awesome.
It was a very good time.
It's a good time. Oh, by the way, you guys can see maybe the landscape. Everything is covered in snow. Yep. The one that I got my car stuck on. And Matej here is driving.
And maybe for you who are not very familiar like with the American infrastructure, it's very funny because the state of South Dakota is very flat and very geometric. So you can drive like straight, literally just straight for like 2 hours and nothing is changing. It's just a flat land, straight highway, and just keep going.
Just realized that my lens was dirty, and Matej just said it doesn't matter. See, we're trying to keep the honesty and originality here and being aware of mistakes and just accepting them, right?
Yes, of course. And it was very good that we spent these 3 days together so we can get together some ideas like when we would want to have the podcast.
Keep going straight.
So, yeah.
Just don't pass this car though. Just keep it straight. That's what I'm saying. Matej almost just crashed us!
That's not true.
You're gonna take exit 400. Wow, that's a huge American flag. Look at that, it's just ginormous. In the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I'm just genuinely curious on how the next episode of this podcast is gonna be when we'll transition to everything online. And what do you think, Matej?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Some episodes obviously
they will be shorter. Some episodes might get a little bit more extensive as we get deeper into the talks. But I am really extremely excited because the more we talk about it, the more we think about it, the more ideas we get about like what people we can get incorporated with in this podcast, and we already got some good ideas. So I hope you guys can appreciate it as well, and maybe we can find some mutual topics that we can all discuss as a group.
Wow, the sun is so blinding.
Right.
But yeah, with my eyes closed, because remember, no editing and try to keep the originality. We're excited to keep this project going, and yeah.
Have
thoughts?
a good day and see you next time.
See you next time. How do you say it in Czech?
Uvidíme se brzy.
Uvidíme se brzy.
How about Spanish?
Hasta la próxima, amigos.
Adiós.